Hello friends, hi, this is Alok Ojha. Welcome to StudyIQ IAS English. Today we are going to discuss one of the most important topics of ancient India, that is the Gupta Empire. Here we will cover different Gupta rulers, particularly Maharaj Sri Gupta, Chandra Gupta I, the founder of Gupta era, Samudra Gupta, also referred as Napoleon of India, Chandra Gupta II, also referred as Vikramaditya. Apart from this, we are also going to throw light on vivid administration of the Guptas, like how the Gupta's administration was quite dynamic. And in the end, I would be telling you important literature, particularly about the literature of Kalidas. Kalidas ji, he was a court historian in the court of Chandra Gupta II, also referred as Vikramaditya. So we are going to throw light on what is Vikramavashiyam, the literature of the most famous literature of ancient India, that is Abhigyana Shakuntalam, written by Kalidas. Okay guys, now prior to this we have covered many aspects in complete ancient Indian history series, that is prehistoric culture, Indus Valley civilization, Vedic civilization, Mahajanpadas, the Mauryas, Sangam age, Buddhism and Jainism. And apart from this, we have also tried to cover different aspects of literature of certain part. In today's session, we are going to cover the different aspects of the rise of Gupta Empire. Okay guys, so let's begin with the Gupta Empire. Now my first question to you guys is, who was the founder of Gupta Empire? Like different historical texts reveal a different truth about it. Like some believe that Chandra Gupta I, who is the founder of Gupta era, which began around 319 to 320 AD, was the founder of Gupta Empire. Is it the actual truth? Now let's explore about this. Now let's speak about who was the actual founder of Gupta Empire. Maharaj Sri Gupta. Like it is believed that Maharaj Sri Gupta, he was succeeded by Chandra Gupta I. He was succeeded by Samudra Gupta. Samudra Gupta, who is also referred as Napoleon of India or Indian Napoleon by different European scholars, particularly Vincent Smith. And Samudra Gupta was succeeded by Chandra Gupta II. Pay attention. Chandra Gupta II had a daughter named as Prabhavati Gupta. I repeat, Chandra Gupta II had a daughter named as Prabhavati Gupta. And there is an inscription associated with Prabhavati Gupta, and that inscription is referred as Pune copper plate inscription. And from Pune copper plate inscription, we come to know that Maharaj Sri Gupta was the founder of Gupta Empire. Okay? So from Pune copper plate inscription, we have inferred that Maharaj Sri Gupta was the founder of Gupta Empire. Okay? Now, with the arrival of Guptas, there was revival of ancient Hinduistic practices, particularly the practices prevalent in the early and the later Vedic period. Gupta rulers were worshippers of Lord Vishnu. They majorly followed Vaishnavism. Particularly, they worshipped Lord Vishnu, Krishna or Lord Ram. It is believed that majorly they worshipped Lord Vishnu. And how do we come to know that? From the coins of Gupta, we infer this. Like on Gupta coins, it is depicted that there is an eagle and the eagle is praying a snake. Simple words, the eagle has a snake in its beak. An eagle, it's a Vahan of Lord Vishnu. So from here we can infer that they were worshippers of Lord Vishnu. Apart from this, on many Gupta coins, we can find the motif of goddess Lakshmi. So we can infer that they were followers of Vaishnavism. How? Because Lakshmi was a consort of Lord Vishnu. Got the points? Now, although the Gupta rulers were worshippers of Lord Vishnu, but they still revered and respected various other religions. And how do we come to know this? It is believed that Maharaj Sri Gupta, he also finds mention in the writings of different Chinese travelers. And one among them was Yi Jing. Correct? In the coming years, I'll give you a small example. Samudra Gupta, who is referred as Napoleon of India, he had performed many Ashwamedh Yagnas. He was worshipper of Lord Vishnu, but once upon a time, the ruler of Sri Lanka, whose name was Meghavarman. He took a permission from this person, whose name was Samudra Gupta. He took a permission from him that he wanted to construct a monastery at Bodh Gaya, and he was given the permission to construct a monastery at Bodh Gaya. This signifies one thing. Although the Gupta rulers were worshippers of Lord Vishnu or followers of Vaishnavism, but they still revered and respected various other religions. Another fine example I'll give you. This was of Sri Gupta and Samudra Gupta. Another important example, apart from this, is Kumar Gupta. Kumar Gupta, he laid the foundation of Nalanda University, and he was worshipper of Lord Kartikeya. Correct? This simply means that they revered and respected various other religions. So Maharaj Sri Gupta was the founder of Gupta Empire. Now he was being succeeded by Chandra Gupta I. Chandra Gupta I, he followed the policy of imperialism. Now what is the meaning of the word imperialism? Imperialism simply means he followed the policy of continuous expansion. Correct? He continuously expanded his territories. It is believed that he married Lichavi princess, Kumar Devi, and he got Patliputra in dowry. Correct? So matrimonial alliances is also one of the way to expand one's kingdom. Like we had seen in the Mahajanpads, if you remember. I'll give you a small example. Matrimonial alliance is also a policy where you can strengthen your position. Isn't that so? I'll give you one of the finest example of one of the Mahajanpads that we had studied earlier. If you remember Kosla Mahajanpad, correct guys? In that we had seen Mahakosla was the founder of Kosla Mahajanpad. He had a son named as Prasenjit and a daughter named as Kosla Devi. And at that time, the most powerful Mahajanpad was Magad. And Magad was following the policy of expansionism, the policy of imperialism. Magad had an eye on Kosla. Diplomatically, what did Prasenjit do? Prasenjit married his sister Kosla Devi to the Haranka dynasty ruler of Magad, Bimbisar. By this, he saved his kingdom from the wrath of Magad. True? So similarly, matrimonial alliances is a policy through which one can strengthen his position. He can create new allies. So here, Chandra Gupta I strengthened his position by entering into the policy of matrimonial alliances. And he married a Lichavi princess whose name was Kumar Devi. I repeat, he married a Lichavi princess referred as Kumar Devi and got Patliputra in dowry. He extended his kingdom till Allahabad, present day Prayagraj, at that time Prayag. So his kingdom extended from Patliputra to the region of Prayag. He initiated Gupta era, particularly from 319 or 320 AD. And from now onwards, the Gupta rulers followed a policy of imperialism and continuously expanded their kingdom. How do we come to know about Chandra Gupta I? How do we come to know that he got Patliputra in dowry? How do we come to know that he extended his kingdom as far as Prayag? We come to know through Mehrauli iron pillar inscription, which is located near Delhi. Now, Chandra Gupta I was succeeded by one of the most competent rulers of the Gupta Empire, one of the most powerful rulers of Gupta Empire, and his name was Samudra Gupta. Samudra Gupta is also referred as Napoleon of India or Indian Napoleon by various European scholars. Particularly, Vincent Smith has called him the Napoleon of India. Where do we come to know about Samudra Gupta? Like there are different military conquests that was being undertaken by Samudra Gupta. His military conquests were divided into 5 major parts: North India, South India, frontier states, border states, tribal republics, and so on. Where do we come to know about these things from? We come to know about these things from Allahabad pillar inscription of Ashok. The Allahabad pillar inscription of Ashok, on the upper side, we find the mention about Ashok. And on the lower side of the pillar, we find the mention of the military conquest that was being done by Samudra Gupta. who was the author of Allahabad Pill inscription of Samudra Gupta? It was Hari Sen. Hari Sen was a court poet or a court historian in the court of Samudra Gupta. And he has mentioned about the military conquest of his master in Prayag Prashasti or Allahabad Prashasti or Allahabad pillar inscription of Ashok. True, as I have told you that, excuse me, this person, Samudra Gupta, he was referred as Napoleon of India. Now, Samudra Gupta, he followed the policy of imperialism. And now, initially, as we have talked about this, the kingdom extended from Patliputra to Allahabad. And now he followed the policy of imperialism. As per Hari Sen, his military conquests were majorly divided into 5 parts. Let's have a look at them. The first part, here the princes of Ganga, Yamuna, Doab were defeated. And it is believed that there were 9 major princes. There were 9 major princes who were being defeated. Some of them were Achyut, which ruled over the region of Ahichhatra. I'll give you a small example. There is a Mahajanpad in the western part of UP. There are majorly 2 Mahajanpads in the western part of UP. Sursen with its capital at Mathura, and the second one, Panchal. The Panchal, it is also located in western UP and was divided into 2 parts, Uttar Panchal and Dakshin Panchal. Uttar Panchal had its capital at Ahichhatra and Dakshin Panchal had its capital at Kampilya. In the region of Ahichhatra, there was a ruler whose name was Achyut and he was being defeated by Samudra Gupta. Another important ruler was Ganapati Nag, who ruled over the region of Mathura. Mathura at that time, during the time of Mahajanpad, it was the capital of Sursen Mahajanpad. The ruler of Kotas, Kotas specifically mean, this is Kotas, they ruled over particularly the region of Bulandshahr, particularly the Bulandshahr presently, that is in UP. So 9 major princes or rulers of North India were being defeated. Then comes the border states or the Pratyant. Now, which border states were defeated? Davak in Assam, Kamrup in Assam, Kartipura in Kashmir, certain regions of Nepal, they were also being defeated. Apart from this comes Atavika Rajyas. Now, what are Atavika Rajyas? Atavika Rajyas are the forest republics, correct? In the Vindhyan forest or in the Vindhyan regions, they were also being defeated. Dakshinapath, 12 rulers of Dakshinapath, they became the tributary states. Now, what does the tributary states mean? Tributary states basically means these 12 kingdoms were being defeated by Samudra Gupta and Samudra Gupta returned them back their kingdom. On what pretext? On the pretext that you are going to pay me tribute in the forthcoming years. So they became the tributaries of the Guptas. I'll give you one of the finest example. One among the 12 states were the Pallavas who ruled in the region of Kanchi. They were also being defeated by the Gupta ruler Samudra Gupta. Sakas and Kushans, like already Sakas and Kushans had been declined majorly, but still they were ruling in a splintered format in certain parts of India. Particularly the Sakas were ruling in the region of Gujarat and Malwa. Now they were contained. Okay. Kushans who called themselves as Devaputras, correct? Like the sons of gods, they were also being defeated. So the military conquest of Samudragupta can be categorized or classified into 5 major categories. The first one, the princes of Ganga, Yamuna, Doab, correct? Then comes Pratyant or the border states. Example, Kartipura in Kashmir, Davak in Assam, Kamrup in Assam, certain parts of Nepal and so on. Then comes Atavika Rajyas. What are Atavika Rajyas? The forest states. Okay? And this include the kingdoms in the forest of Vindhyan mountains. Then comes Dakshinapath. 12 major rulers were defeated, like the rulers of Dusthalpur. Apart from this, the rulers of Irandapalli. Apart from this, Pallavas of Kanchi, they became tributary states. And we had discussed previously what is the meaning of the word tributary states. Okay? And finally comes the Shakas and the Kushans. Kushan, who called themselves as Devaputras, that is the sons of the gods. They were also being defeated by Samudra Gupta. Where do we come to know about this? Allahabad pillar inscription. Who was the author of Allahabad pillar inscription? Hari Sen. Who was Hari Sen? The court poet or court historian in the court of Samudra Gupta. Clear till here? Let's move ahead. After this, Samudra Gupta also assumed different titles. Like he assumed the titles like Parakramanak. Like after, it is believed that after controlling the states, he assumed the title Parakramanak. He assumed the title Maharaja Dhiraj. In various coins, it is believed that he is compared to various Vedic gods. Like he is compared to Yam, god of death. He is compared to Kuber, god of wealth. He is compared to Indra, that is the rain god or the war lord. Correct? And after defeating these kingdoms, he assumed the title Maharaja Dhiraj or Parakramanak, and after this, he performed a yagya, which is referred as Ashwamedh Yagna. And the horse or the horse motif of the Ashwamedh Yagna is also depicted in one of the coins of Samudra Gupta. Samudra Gupta, he was also fond of playing veena. He was also fond of music. How do we come to know? Same thing, coins. In one of his coins, Samudra Gupta is depicted as playing veena. Hence, Samudra Gupta is also referred as Kaviraj, since he was fond of music. As I had given you example previously, that although Gupta rulers were followers of Vaishnavism, but they still revered and respected various other religions. How do we come to know? The king of Sri Lanka, Meghavarman, he had to construct a monastery at Bodh Gaya. And the permission to construct the monastery at Bodh Gaya was granted to Meghavarman by Samudra Gupta. This exemplifies that the ruler Samudra Gupta, he was a liberal ruler. He had performed many Ashwamedh Yagna, and he patronized a Buddhist scholar whose name was Vasubandhu. Clear till here? Correct? Now let's move ahead with another important ruler of the Gupta dynasty whose name was Chandra Gupta II. Chandra Gupta II is also referred as Vikramaditya. He is also referred as Sakar. Sakar basically means destroyer of Sakas. Okay? Now, why he is called as destroyer of Sakas? Let's explore now. Different texts reveal a different story. Now, there is one text whose name is Devi Chandra Guptam. And as per Devi Chandra Guptam, written by Vishakha Dutt, it's believed that Samudra Gupta was not directly succeeded by his son Chandra Gupta II or Vikramaditya. He was succeeded by his elder son whose name was Ramagupta. This is a story mentioned in Devi Chandra Guptam. Okay, he was succeeded by Ramagupta. But it is believed that Ramagupta was defeated by the Sakas. And Sakas had put one condition in front of Ramagupta, that you have to surrender your wife Dhruva Devi to us. So at this point of time, Chandra Gupta II, the younger brother of Ramagupta, he believed that a king who cannot protect his wife, how can he protect his kingdom? So it is believed that Chandra Gupta II dethroned his brother Ramagupta and he became the new king. And apart from this, he also defeated the Sakas. And what does the other story says? Let's understand. During the reign of Samudra Gupta, majorly entire northern part of India came under his reign, except few parts of western India, particularly the region of Gujarat and Malwa. Malwa, it is located in western part of MP, western part of Madhya Pradesh, and it majorly covers the districts like Dhar, Mandu, Ujjain, Devas, Indore and so on. And it is believed that for centuries, for approximately around 2 to 2.5 centuries, the region of Malwa and Gujarat was being ruled by Sakas. Although Samudra Gupta was quite successful in uprooting the Sakas from major parts of India, but he has not uprooted the Sakas completely out of India. Okay, there were still, particularly, they were ruling in certain parts of Malwa and Gujarat. Now, what a diplomatic move by Chandra Gupta II. Now, pay attention. In certain parts of central India, there was a rule of Nagas. And now, Chandra Gupta II, who had its capital at Patliputra, married a Naga princess whose name was Kuber Nag. Okay? Chandra Gupta II married Central Indian princess whose name was Kuber Nag. And from Kuber Nag, he had a daughter named as Prabhavati Gupta. Please understand this concept. It's a very important one. I'll repeat it. Chandra Gupta II, also referred as Vikramaditya, he was ruling in the region of Patliputra. Okay? The eastern part of India. The western part of India was still under the control of Sakas, particularly the Malwa and Gujarat. Okay? Now, diplomatically, Chandra Gupta II married Central Indian princess Kuber Nag. And from Kuber Nag, he had a daughter named as Prabhavati Gupta. We had discussed in the start of the session. Pune copper plate inscription, if you remember. Okay, Prabhavati Gupta. Now, he married his daughter Prabhavati Gupta to the ruler of Vakatakas, or the Vakataka prince, whose name was Rudrasen II. I repeat, he married him to Rudrasen II. Now what happened? In a very diplomatic manner, he has encircled his enemy. Correct? Because he has developed matrimonial alliances in central India, southern India, particularly the region of Vakatakas. He married his daughter to Vakataka Prince Rudrasen II. So in that case, he has encircled his enemy. One fine day, it's believed that Rudrasen II passed away. He died. And now, virtual ruler of this place was whom? Chandra Gupta II. Virtual, not the actual one. Okay? One fine day, finding an opportunity, it is believed that Chandra Gupta II attacked the region of Malwa and Gujarat and uprooted the last Saka ruler whose name was Rudrasimha III. And now, he also acquired the region of Malwa and Gujarat, particularly the western part of India. And from now onwards, Ujjain became the alternate capital of Guptas in the western part. Okay, I'll repeat the points again. I can understand to an extent this is a bit complicated, not much. So pay attention carefully. I'm repeating the points again for your easier understanding. Okay. In the eastern part of India, Guptas had their capital at Patliputra. Now the Gupta ruler Chandra Gupta II, he married the Central Indian princess Kuber Nag, from whom he had a daughter named as Prabhavati Gupta. He married Prabhavati Gupta to the ruler of Vakatakas, whose name was Rudrasen II, particularly ruling in the upper part of Deccan. In this strategic or diplomatic move, he tried to encircle his enemy. And finally, the last Saka ruler who were ruling in the region of Malwa and Gujarat was being uprooted by Chandra Gupta II. And now, Ujjain became the alternate capital of Guptas, correct, during the tenure of Chandra Gupta II. Hence, he is referred as Sakar. As I have told you previously, that Chandra Gupta II is referred as Vikramaditya. He is also referred as Sakar. So, Sakar here basically means destroyer of Sakas. Hope so the points are clear. Apart from this, he is also called as Vikramaditya. He is called as Sakar, destroyer of Sakas. Destroyer of Sakas. He issued a lot many gold coins. a Chinese traveler whose name was Faheen. He visited India during the reign of Chandra Gupta II. Okay? And there was a question in the UPSC examination directly. Consider the following statement about Faheen. One of the statement was, Faheen came to India during the reign of Chandra Gupta II. So this statement is true. Okay, Ujjain, as we have discussed earlier, now became the alternate capital of Guptas in the western part of India. The court of Chandragupta, it was being adorned by various scholars like Kalidas, one of the most important scholars who is known for his poems and dramas. Poems like Ritu Samhar, Meghdoot. Apart from this, Kumar Sambhav. Then Raghuvansh, and he's also known for his dramas like Malvika Agnimitram, Vikramo Vashiyam, and the most renowned one, Abhigyan Shakuntalam. We'll discuss that story in the end of today's session. A beautiful story. Points are clear, guys? So this is majorly about Chandra Gupta II. Now let's move to Kumar Gupta. Chandra Gupta was succeeded by Kumar Gupta. And Kumar Gupta, he was worshipper of Lord Kartikeya, also referred as Murugan in southern part of India, also referred as Lord of Six Abodes. He performed lot many Ashwamedh Yagnas, Hence he is also referred as Mahendra Aditya or Ashwamedh Mahendra. Why Ashwamedh Mahendra? Since he performed a lot many Ashwamedh sacrifices. Correct? It is also believed that, particularly, that he laid the foundation of one of the most important universities of that time, which became an epicenter of Buddhist learning, particularly Mahayana form of Buddhist learning. And that university was Nalanda University. Okay? That university was Nalanda University. This statement is wrong. Please don't remember this statement that end of his reign, a powerful tribe called as Pushyamitra defeated Gupta army. This statement is wrong. Just remember the upper part of the statement. Okay? That he laid the foundation of Nalanda University. And who destroyed Nalanda University? Later on in the medieval period, Nalanda University was destroyed by Bhaktiyar Khilji. I repeat, Nalanda University was destroyed by Bhaktiyar Khilji. We'll study this in quite depth and detail when we'll discuss the medieval India. Like, the first Muslim invader of India was Muhammad bin Qasim. He was being succeeded by Mahmud of Ghazni, followed by Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori majorly ruled in the region of Afghanistan, and he had two slaves in India. One was Qutbuddin Aibak, who focused majorly on the northern part of India. And the other was Bhaktiyar Khilji, who focused majorly on the eastern part of India. It is believed that Bhaktiyar Khilji had destroyed many universities of that time. And one among them was the Nalanda University. Other was Vikramshila University. So Nalanda University, its foundation was being laid down by Kumar Gupta. Again, one thing is depicted. Although the Gupta rulers were followers of Vaishnavism or for that sake Hinduism, but they still revered and respected various other religions. Got it? Moving on to the next important ruler, Skanda Gupta. Now, it is believed that ultimately, in the final, I'm saying, ultimately the major reason for decline of the Guptas was the Hunas, also referred as the Hun. Okay. But initially, and now the Hunas attacked the Gupta Empire multiple times. But initially the Hunas were unsuccessful. Now, where did these Hunas come from? Okay, these Hunas majorly came from the Central Asia, and particularly they came from the region around Turkestan, Turkmenistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, which is also referred as the region of Transoxiana. So these Hunas majorly came from here. It is also believed that Hunas, apart from attacking Gupta Empire, they were also attacking the Roman territories in the Europe. Okay. It is also believed that, many historians do believe that, the Romans after the attack of Hunas were divided into two parts, Western Roman Empire and Eastern Roman Empire. The Western Roman Empire had its capital at Rome, and the Eastern Roman Empire had its capital at Constantinople. Okay, So coming back here, these are the same Hunas who attacked India or particularly Guptas multiple times. Initially, they were unsuccessful, but ultimately in the end, Hunas became one of the major reasons for decline of Gupta Empire in India. Okay, it is believed that Skanda Gupta, the ruler of the Gupta Empire, saved the Gupta Empire from the attack of Hunas. Like his grandfather, he also assumed the title Vikramaditya. Okay, and where do we come to know about Skanda Gupta from? We come to know about Skanda Gupta from Bhitari pillar inscription at Ghazipur in Uttar Pradesh. Got it? One more additional information. It is believed that there is a place called as Kahom, which is located in Gorakhpur district of UP. Here we can observe 5 idols of Tirthankar dated back to Gupta period, and particularly the period of Skanda Gupta. Again, another example where the Gupta rulers, although the followers of Vaishnavism, still revered and respected various other religions. Correct? Like the last important rulers, some of them included Vishnugupta and Bal Aditya. This is majorly about the important rulers of the Gupta Empire. So Maharaj Sri Gupta, he was the founder of Gupta Empire. He was being succeeded by his son, whose name was Chandra Gupta I, the founder of Gupta era, particularly around 319 or 320th AD, 320 AD. Then comes Samudra Gupta, who is also referred as Napoleon of India or Indian Napoleon by Vincent Smith. Then comes Chandra Gupta II, also referred as Vikramaditya or Sakar, destroyer of Sakas. And we have seen the entire story about this. Then comes Kumar Gupta, who laid the foundation of Nalanda University. And then comes Skanda Gupta. These are the important and the major rulers of Gupta Empire. Okay. So hope so, guys, the points are clear. I'll ask you a simple question. Please answer this in the comment box. Right now we have discussed. The foundation of Nalanda University was being laid down by Kumar Gupta. My first question, please answer this in the comment box. Who destroyed the Nalanda University? And name the 2 slaves of Muhammad Ghori that were left in India. One among the slave, he laid the foundation of one of the most important dynasties of Delhi Sultanate at that time, slave dynasty. Please answer in the comment section. Okay. Now let's speak about the Gupta's administration. Similar to the Mauryas, Guptas had the similar administrative pattern. Okay. At the apex of the administration was the king or the Swami, same to the Mauryas. Okay. Now, king was assisted in performance of duties, in performance of his duties by whom? Mantri Parishad. True, same thing. And now Mantri Parishad was headed by a prime minister, referred as Pradhan Mantri. Okay. So, king or Swami was at the apex of the administration, and the Gupta rulers assumed exalted titles, like the titles like Maharaj, titles like Param Bhatarak, the titles like Parakramanak, Maharaja Dhiraj. These were the titles that were being assumed. The kings of the kings were the titles assumed by the Gupta rulers. Like there were many Gupta rulers who personally led their armies. One among them was the Napoleon of India, Samudra Gupta. Chandra Gupta II, also referred as Vikramaditya, he personally led his army. Skanda Gupta, he personally led his army. So, Gupta rulers were at the highest apex of the administration. They were assisted in performance of duties by whom? Council of Ministers. And these Council of Ministers are referred as Mantri Parishad. Got it? Mantri Parishad was headed by one person. And that person was referred as Mantri Parishad Adhyaksha or Pradhan Mantri. Very simple words. Mantri Parishad Adhyaksha or Pradhan Mantri, he is acting as a channel of communication between whom? The Council of Ministers, that is Mantri Parishad on one side and the Swami, king, on the other side. Correct? Now, These are the important departments. Sometimes there could be direct question in the prelims examination, like who was Dandapashika during the Gupta Empire? So Dandapashika was a police officer. So let's understand about the important ministries or department. One more thing. As we had discussed, the Council of Ministers was referred as Mantri Parishad, being headed by Pradhan Mantri or Mantri Parishad Adhyaksha. Who will decide that who is going to become the Pradhan Mantri? It would be decided by the king or the Swami. Got it? Now, different departments are Mahabaladhikrat. He was commander-in-chief of the army. Then comes Mahanarpati. Nar means men. So it is the head of infantry. Mahaashwapati. Ashwa basically means what? Horses. So Mahaashwapati was the head of cavalry department. Mahagajpati or Mahamahipalpati was the head of elephant section. Then comes Mahapratihar. This is maintenance of royal palaces. Apart from this, Dandapashika means he was the head of the police department. Mahadandanayak, Chief Justice. So these are the important officers and their functions who worked as a part of Mantri Parishad or Council of Ministers. True? Who is going to appoint these officers? These officers again would be appointed by the Rajan on the advice of Pradhan Mantri. Okay? This is at the central level. Now what about the provincial level? Got it? Now Gupta Empire was divided into various provinces. And these provinces are called as Bhukti. I repeat, the Gupta Empire is divided into different provinces and these provinces are called as Bhukti. Who is going to head the Bhukti? Bhukti would be headed by the person from the royal family, probably the son of the ruler or the person whom the ruler chooses. Correct? So Bhukti would be headed by Kumar Amatya or it would be headed by Uparikas. I repeat, it would be headed by Uparikas. Kumar Amatya, the same terminology in the modern period. Okay. So Bhukti, that is provinces, would be headed by provincial governors referred as Uparikas. True? Further, now these provinces, these Rajyas are further divided into districts. And the district is particularly referred as Adisthan Patan or Pradesh. I repeat, the districts are referred as Adisthan Patan or Pradesh. And the Pradesh would be headed by Ayukta. Got it? Further, it is divided into town or tehsil. And these town or tehsil are further headed by Purapal. And further, the basic unit of administration is village. And village is referred as Gram, which is headed by Gramika or Gram Adhyaksha. And there are different group of villages which is headed by Vithi, or the group of villages are called as Vithi. Kutumbis and Mahataras were the small level village officers. I'll repeat the points again. Please listen to me carefully. Do not make it complex. It's an easy one. Just listen to me carefully. At the apex of the administration, we have the king, referred as Swami. King is assisted in performance of his duties by Mantri Parishad, headed by Pradhan Mantri. Who is going to appoint Pradhan Mantri? The Swami or the king. King assumes titles like Maharaja Dhiraj, Param Bhatarak, Parakramanak. True? Now, there are different departments to aid and advise the king in performance of his duties. We have seen the officers like Mahanarpati, Mahaashwapati, Mahamahipal or Gajpati, Mahadandanayak, Dandapashika and so on. Now this was about the center. Now the entire Gupta administration is divided into different provinces, different Rajyas. These provinces are referred as Bhukti. Who is going to head the Bhukti or the provinces? The provincial governor. They are referred as Uparika. Got it? Now these are further divided into districts. Districts are called as Adhisthan Patan, okay, or Pradesh. They are further headed by Ayukt. Moving ahead. Further divided into small towns or tehsil. Who is going to head it? It would be headed by, yes, Purapal. Further divided into villages. The basic unit of administration was village, referred as Gram, headed by Gram Adhyaksh. The group of villages were referred as Vithi. My friends, it is Vithi, not Vishti. Vithi is a group of villages and Vishti is a forced labor. So please do not get confused. Vishti is a forced labor. Vithi is a group of villages. Got it? Now, Kutumbis and Mahataras were the small village level officer. Clear till here? Got it? One more thing I'll tell you. There were certain big cities and these big cities were referred as Nagar. Okay. And Nagar was being headed by Nagar Adhyaksh. Apart from this, there were different communities in the Nagar or cities as well. Like there was artisan community. Okay. So there were different communities like Pratham Kayasth or Pratham Kulika, which were the part of Nagar. There was something called a Sarthwaha. Now what is Sarthwaha? Sarthwaha is convoy or group of merchants that lived in the city. Okay. So there's a homework for you guys. Please ping in the comment box. Who was Pratham Kayasth? Or what was Pratham Kayasth? What was Pratham Kulika as a part of Gupta Empire? Okay. Hope you understood this part. Rajan, central administration divided into provinces referred as provinces referred as Bhukti headed by Uparikas, Pradesh headed by Ayukt, Pura headed by Purapal, Gram headed by Gramika or Gram Adhyaksh. Clear till here? Now let's focus upon the different taxation system of the Guptas. The first part, Bali. Bali was a voluntary offering. We had studied previously in the Vedic civilization, correct? Bali, Bhaga and Shulk. Bhaga was what? Spoils of the war. Bhoga, it was tax in kind of gifts. Then comes Hiranya, tax that is on gold. Let's come to another important tax, Klipt. Now what is Klipt? Whenever I am purchasing, now these days we do registry. You might have, for example, if you're purchasing a land or for that sake you're purchasing a flat, you pay registry fee. Correct? And both the parties have to pay a certain amount of money. So the party who is selling and the party who is purchasing both have to pay a certain amount as a tax. That at the Gupta time was referred as Klipt. Klipt means if somebody is purchasing the land and somebody is selling the land, both had to pay the tax to the government, and that was Klipt. Then comes Verinag. It is a social security kind of tax that needs to be paid. Kar, irregular kind of tax. Now what is social security kind of tax and irregular kind of tax? For example, if there are unforeseen situations like if there is a famine, correct? In that case, the peasants are unable to pay the taxes or the kar to the administration. So where will the money come for smooth functioning of the administration? That comes from kar or Verinag. Social security kind of tax, or it's an emergency kind of tax. Got it? So these are the important taxes, particularly during the Gupta period. Let's speak about the social life of the Gupta period. Gupta age is also referred as Golden Age. Now, let me tell you about some snippets of Faheen, what he observed in India. As we had discussed previously, Faheen was a Chinese traveler who came to India in the court of Chandra Gupta II, also referred as Vikramaditya. And in his travelogue, the major purpose of Faheen coming to India, as per various historians, was to acquire Buddhist manuscripts from India. But he stayed in Patliputra, studied those manuscripts, and then went back to his country. He traveled different places across before coming to India, he traveled different places like Khotan, Kasghar, and many other places. He stayed in the court of Chandragupta II and observed the Indian society at that time. And he gave a glimpse about the Indian society, of which some important snippets are. He said that Ganga Yamuna Doab was a very fertile region. He also referred this as a land of Brahmanism. But still, People were quite successful and they revered and respected various other religions. The peasants were free to cultivate anything. Correct? But still, there was caste system that was deeply rooted into the Indian society at that time. As we had seen previously in the Vedic civilization, and in the Vedic civilization, there are 10 mandal. We had seen previously, Rig Veda has 10 mandal. And the 10th mandal, there is a section referred as Purusha Sukta. In Purusha Sukta, it is mentioned that every human being is born out of different body parts of Brahma. Brahman out of the mouth, Kshatriya out of shoulders, Vaishya out of thighs, and Shudra out of feet. Correct. During the Gupta period, which is also referred as Golden Age of Temple Architecture, but still many historians believe that society to an extent was degrading. How? Because there was here one more caste, which was referred as caste of untouchables, and they were referred by a derogatory name of Chandals. Whenever they are entering into the village, they had to carry a drum around their neck and they had to beat their drum. Why? Because people will fall aside and their shadow won't fall on the people. This was a degrading nature of the society at the time of Gupta period. Although it is also referred as Golden Age of Temple Architecture. Different forms of marriages were prevalent at that time, like Brahma Vivah, Deva Vivah, Arsha Vivah, Prajapate Vivah, Asur Vivah, Rakshas Vivah, Pishach Vivah, and so on. These are all referred as 8 different forms of marriages, also referred as Ashta Vivah. So all these were prevalent at that time. Sati system might have been prevalent at this time. Now what is Sati? Sati basically means forced immolation. And how do we come to know that Sati system was prevalent at that time? We get the inscription from the region of Iran. Iran. Now where is Iran? Iran majorly is located in Bundelkhand region of Madhya Pradesh, particularly covering the districts of Sagar and Damoh. From here we do come to know that Sati system might have been prevalent in the Gupta period. If we see the religious part of the Gupta period, as we had discussed previously, Gupta rulers were worshippers of Lord Vishnu. Simple words, they followed Vaishnavism. But still, there are different Gupta rulers who followed Lord Krishna as well. Like Chandra Gupta II, he is also referred as Param Bhagwat. Param Bhagwat means he was worshipper of Lord Krishna. We had seen Kumar Gupta. He was a worshipper of Lord Kartikeya or Murugan, and he is referred as Ashwamedh Mahendra or Mahendra Aditya. Apart from this, on Gupta coins we see Lord Vishnu. On Gupta coins we see the Vahan of Lord Vishnu, that is Garud. We see the consort of Lord Vishnu, that is goddess, what we say, Lakshmi. It simply means that they also believed in Shaktiism. What is Shaktiism? Worship of several female deities like Uma, Kali, Parvati, Lakshmi, and so on. Durga. True? So, apart from this, they still revered and respected various other religions. We had discussed those examples. I'll repeat those examples again. Like Kumar Gupta, he laid the foundation of Nalanda University, one of the most important centers of Buddhist learning at that time. Correct? Samudra Gupta, also referred as Napoleon of India, he gave the permission to Meghvarman, the ruler of Sri Lanka, to construct a monastery at Bodh Gaya. Skanda Gupta, it is believed that 5 idols of Tirthankars have been found at Kahom near Gorakhpur. And this dates back to the era of Skanda Gupta. True? So all these things highlight one thing. And what is that? That the Gupta rulers were actually, to an extent, liberal rulers. Okay? Now, let's throw light on certain aspects of Gupta literature. Kalidas. As we had discussed earlier, guys, Kalidas was one of the most renowned poets and the court historian who adorned the court of Chandra Gupta I. True? Now let's speak about Kalidas in few lines. Now there are famous poems of Kalidas like Ritu Samhar. It is one of the major poems of Kalidas which speaks about the emotions of the lovers in different seasons. Ritu Samhar. Kumar Sambhav. Meghdut. Megh means cloud. Dut means messenger. A beautiful poetic format or a beautiful poem of the clouds. Meghdut. The clouds working like a messenger. Meghdut. And the most important dramas of Kalidas include, the first one among them was Abhigyan Shakuntalam. Another one, Vikramo Vashiyam. Another important one, Malvika Agnimitram. Correct? Now, I'll ask you one question, guys. And my question is, have you heard one more thing? That initially, Kalidas, he was considered as a fool poet. Do you know this fact? But with the grace of goddess Kali, he was given the Vidya, that is Saraswati, and he became one of the most important historians in the court of Chandra Gupta II. Have you heard about this saying that Kalidas, he was initially considered as a foolish poet? Do you know this fact? Now let me tell you a story. In the region of Ujjain, there was a very renowned king. And this king had a daughter, and his daughter's name was Vidyotma. Right from her birth, she was very intelligent. Apart from being intelligent, she was also very beautiful. Now her parents decided that she would be taught the Vedas, she would be taught Upanishads under a guru. So they appointed a guru named as Varuki. Now she grew up, and as she grew up, she became an important scholar. Now one fine day, it was being decided that, her father decided to marry her, but she had put one condition. I'll marry that person who is equally smart like me, who is equally intelligent to me. This was the condition that was put forward by Vidyotma in front of her parents. Vidyotma initially had also angered his guru, whose name was Varuki. Why she had angered? Because it is believed that once upon a time, she had humiliated or insulted her guru Varuki. And now Varuki wanted to take a revenge for this. Now, there were different rulers who came to marry Vidyotma. Vidyotma said that I would be having a discussion on Shastras, but that discussion would be in a sign language. There won't be any oral discussion here. Okay. Now, Vidyotma said this. Nobody could understand the sign language. What is Vidyotma trying to say? So, Varuki felt that the time is ripe now, he has to take a revenge from Vidyotma. Once upon a time, now Varuki was going through the streets and he saw that a man was sitting on the branch of a tree and he was cutting the same branch. Okay. Now, just he was passing by the streets and he said to that man, are you a fool? You are sitting on a branch of a tree and you are cutting the same branch, you will fall down. That man didn't listen to him. This person, Varuki, moved further. Finally, that man fell from the tree. He got astonished. Okay, and he came running to Varuki. He said that you are a great astrologer. How did you come to know that I'll fall from the tree? Varuki said, you are a fool. You are sitting on a branch of a tree and you are cutting the same branch. It simply means that you are going to fall. He said, no, please, you can only save my life. You are the greatest astrologer I have ever seen, and everything that he said. Varuki thought that this fool is the best person to take revenge from Vidyotma. Okay. Now, this person, he was given the attire of a minister, everything. Now he was taken to the court, and when he was taken to the court, Vidyotma saw her. And when Vidyotma saw her, as I've told you previously, Vidyotma said that she will do the Shastrarth, or she will do the discussion of the scriptures in the sign language. Now Vidyotma said this. This guy said this. Vidyotma thought that he's a very wise and intelligent guy. Correct? Now what was Vidyotma trying to say? That there is only Atman. And what Vidyotma interpreted actually? She interpreted that this guy is saying there is Atman, and apart from this there is Atman and Paramatman both. Vidyotma thought that he's such an intelligent guy. But actually what that guy was saying, if you slap me once, I'll slap you twice. Now Vidyotma said this. This guy said this. Now Vidyotma became very happy, like such an intelligent person. Vidyotma was trying to say that there are 5 elements of the earth. And she interpreted that this guy is saying there are 5 elements of the earth, but if these 5 elements of the earth are distributed, the earth couldn't have been created. So these Pancha Tattvas are the reason for creation of this earth. This was interpreted by Vidyotma. And what this guy was trying to say, if you slap me, I'll hit you. Correct? Now Vidyotma said, I'll marry this guy. I'll marry this person. And when she married this person, after few certain months of her marriage, she came to know that he's a foolish guy. And she abandoned this person. Now this person, he was a staunch disciple of goddess Kali. He worshipped goddess Kali. And when he worshipped goddess Kali, it is believed that she gave him the boon of Vidya or knowledge. And that person was referred as Kalidas. Wasn't that an interesting story? And Kalidas, he adorned the court of Chandra Gupta II, also referred as Vikram Aditya. Another historian was Amar Simha. He also adorned the court of Chandra Gupta II. Now Kalidas, he is also referred as a romantic poet. Correct? Now Kalidas has written different books or poems like Ritu Samhar, Kumar Sambhav, Meghdoot, Raghuvansh, and his most important dramas include Abhigyan Shakuntalam, Vikramo Vashyam and Malvika Agnimintram. The most important ones is Abhigyan Shakuntalam, the very famous one. And the story of Abhigyan Shakuntalam majorly rotates around 3 to 4 important characters. First character is Vishwamitra, the sage. Second character is a Menka. Third important character is Shakuntala. And the fourth important character is Kanva Rishi. And the fifth important character is Dushyant, the ruler of Hastinapur. So the story of Abhigyan Shakuntalam rotates around these 4 to 5 characters. And what is this story all about? Listen to me carefully. It's a very interesting story. We had discussed about Vishwamitra in Vedic civilization, if you remember, guys. Now, sage Vishwamitra, his original name was Raja Kaushik. Initially, he was a king and later he became a sage. When he was a king, his name was Rajan Kaushik. Okay. Vishwamitra, he wrote the famous Gayatri Mantra, which is mentioned in Mandal 3 of Rigved. Now, once upon a time, it is believed that Vishwamitra was doing his penance. He was doing his tapasya. And Indra, the god of heaven, he decided to disturb Vishwamitra. So he sent an Apsara, whose name was Menka, to disturb Vishwamitra. And many historians and many Vedic scholars believe that Shakuntala was born out of Vishwamitra and Menka. So Shakuntala was a daughter of Vishwamitra and Menka. Now, right from the birth itself, Shakuntala was abandoned. Now, this small girl was being raised by an rishi whose name was Kanva Rishi. Now, apart from being beautiful, this girl was also very intelligent. Why she was intelligent? Because she was being raised up by a rishi who was running a Gurukul. And the rishi's name was Kanva Rishi. Now, she used to observe the students in the Gurukul. She used to listen to Kanva Rishi when he used to teach the Sanskrit or the Vedas to the students in the Gurukul. So, she grew up. And when she grew up, she was very beautiful. And apart from being beautiful, she was intelligent itself. Why? Because she was listening to the Sanskrit that was being taught by Kanva Rishi to different students. One fine day, Kanva Rishi went out of his ashram and he went to perform a particular yagna. And now, before going, he left the entire ashram in the hands of whom? Shakuntala. And he said to Shakuntala, if any particular sannyasi or rishi is coming, please feed him, please keep him in the ashram and everything. Now, in the jungle, there was a ruler of Hastinapur who came to hunting, whose name was Dushyant. Now, when he aimed at a deer to hunt him, there was another rishi who stopped him from the hunting. Okay, he explained him that you should not hunt and you should not get involved in any sort of violent activity. Now both Dushyant and that Rishi, they were searching for water. So the Rishi said that nearby there is an ashram of a Kanva Rishi. We can go there, we can have some amount of food there, and we can also quench our thirst by having water. The king of Hastinapur, Dushyant, goes to the ashram of the Rishi, Kanva Rishi. Kanva Rishi was not present in the ashram, as we discussed earlier. And when he arrived in the ashram, he saw this lady, Shakuntala. She was very pretty and beautiful. Dushyant, the king of Hastinapur, he was also quite handsome. Both of them fell for each other. And it is believed that Dushyant, before leaving the place, he gave a ring to this lady, Shakuntala, and said that whenever you visit Hastinapur, show this ring to the people or show this ring to the guards, because this is the ring which signifies the royal insignia, and they will allow you to enter into my castle. Same thing was done. Now, as soon as she got the ring, she was lost in the thoughts of Dushyant. Okay, she was completely lost in the thoughts of Dushyant, and one fine day, Durvasa Rishi, he came. And when Durvasa Rishi came, he asked Bhiksha from this lady, Shakuntala. She was completely lost in thoughts of Dushyant. Now, Durvasa Rishi, he became so angry that Durvasa Rishi cursed him that, whom you are thinking about, he will forget you. And Durvasa Rishi went from there. Kanva Rishi came. Now she goes in search of his, this person, Dushyant. The ring that he had given to her, it falls into the river. This lady reaches which place? Hastinapur. Now Dushyant actually does not recognize her. She starts weeping and crying now. She now remembers the curse given to her by which Rishi? We had just discussed now. She now remembers the curse that was given to her by Durvasa Rishi. She comes back to the ashram, tells everything to her father, that is Kanva Rishi. And Kanva Rishi now calls Durvasa Rishi. Durvasa Rishi says that the ring is actually fallen into a particular river, and the ring is consumed by a fish, which is now getting sold in this market, caught by a particular fisherman. She goes to that market, catches that fisherman, takes the ring, and after taking the ring, she goes to Hastinapur. Now when she visits Hastinapur, the ruler Dushyant recognizes her, and finally Dushyant marries Shakuntala. And they had a son named as Bharat. And this entire plot has been mentioned in a book called as Abhigyan Shakuntalam. Wasn't that an interesting story? Gupta period is a treasure house of different literature as well, correct? Like another important literature was Swapna Vasav Dutt. It was written by Bhasa. A very beautiful story, a love story of the king Udayan of the Vats Mahajanpad and daughter of Chanda Pradyot, Vasav Dutt. A very beautiful story, Swapna Vasav Dutt, written by Bhasa. Another important story of the Gupta era, Kirti Arjunia. It is a story written by Bharavi. Shishupal Vad, which was written by Magh. Shishupal, if you remember, we had discussed about the Chedi Mahajanpad. As per Mahabharat, Shishupal was the ruler of Chedi Mahajanpad, and he was a very close ally of Duryodhan. Correct? It is believed that Shishupal, when he was born, his body was completely asymmetric. Okay, he was born with 3 eyes and 4 arms. Now his parents now decided that they will discard him. But somebody suggested that call all your relatives and one by one keep the child on the lap of every relative. On a lap of one particular relative, his body will get symmetric. Everyone was called. Lord Krishna and Lord Balram, they were also being called. When the child was kept on the lap of Lord Krishna, it is believed that his body got transformed into symmetric from asymmetric. But there was one more condition, that on whose lap his body will get symmetric, he would be killing this child in the future. Now, the mother of Shishupal and Lord Krishna both were relatives. Now, she took a vow from Lord Krishna that you are not going to kill my child. Lord Krishna said, I cannot change the destiny, but I'll promise you one thing. I'll pardon his mistake 100 times. And if he crosses this, I'll kill him. Finally, it is believed that Shishupal was being beheaded by Lord Krishna with the help of his Sudarshan Chakra. And this is called as Shishupal Vad. And this entire beautiful narrative has been written by Magh. Another important book Devi Chandraguptam and Mudra Rakshasa, Ring of Demons, was written by Vishakha Dutt. Apart from this, the stories of Panchatantra was written by Pandit Vishnu Shankar Sharma. Gupta age is also referred as golden age of temple architecture, and the genesis of the basics of the temple architecture majorly began from the Gupta period. Correct? So this is majorly about the rule of the Guptas, the administration of the Guptas, the important Gupta literature, and so on. The temple architecture would be covered in the part of art and culture. Hope so the session was interesting. Hope so the stories were quite interesting. Hope so guys, everything was interesting. With this I stop my words. Again, I'll mention one more thing. The PDFs could be downloaded from my Telegram channel, history_Alok Ojha. I repeat, history_Alok Ojha. Very soon would be coming up with the sessions of the most important part, that is modern India. Okay guys, with this I stop my words for the day. See you guys. Thank you and have a wonderful day.